Welcome everyone to the Business Made Easy show. I'm Fiona Hall, and Liz and I, Liz, my lovely co-host, and I started the Business Made Easy show in February of this year. So we've been doing it for a while now. Yeah. So every Wednesday at 10 a.m. we interview a guest expert. And this person has an area of small business that they know a lot about. And we want to find out more for ourselves in our own business. And we want to share that with you. So if you have any questions, please pop them down here. And we will moderate those questions and feed them through to our guest. And you can hopefully get some great stuff for your business that's practical. Because we like to share stuff that makes a difference in your business today. Or maybe tomorrow morning after you've had a little bit of time to digest it. So welcome, welcome. And yeah, as Liz said, do pop down here where you are listening in from, what location. We'd love to know who you are and where you are. So we also have a private Facebook group for all the Business Made Easy people. So if you'd like to join, I will send the link over here. Just copy and paste that in. Making sure I'm using my Chrome browser, not my Firefox ones. That's causing me problems, I think. So that's the group, and our guest will be in there later. So if you'd like to ask some more questions offline, that's where you can do that. So this is a place, as I said, for you business owners out there who would like to experience a little bit more freedom in their lives. Because we often have, as business owners, a specific skill set that we started our business with, but there's some gaps, right? And hopefully our guests will help fill in those gaps for you. And Liz and I are here to ask those questions and hopefully go a bit deeper for you. But do feel free to contribute, because this is your place to come and play and learn. So the reason Liz and I started this Facebook group is we both had the same word that was important to us for this year, and it's freedom. Experiencing more freedom in our lives and our business. So to experience more freedom, we need to take more stuff off our to-do lists. And we also need to find out the clever and simple ways to do things. So our guests should provide you with some awesome little nuggets on how to do that. Cool. So the way this Blab show works is it's quite structured and formatted. Funny that, I'm a systems coach. And the way it works is I do my intro like I'm doing now. And then I give you a little nugget of wisdom from my systems head. Morning, Steph. And Liz will give you her nugget of wisdom from her health and well-being and connection mindset. So I'm going to segue into my golden nugget for today. And mine is based about the pitfalls of running a small home business office. So for those of you who maybe worked in a corporate or a larger group environment, you might have kind of noticed there's certain things that you don't have anymore when you're working from a home office. There's 3 key things that have made a big difference in my life. Oh, here comes Belinda. Yoo-hoo. And they were social connection, structure, and accountability. Welcome, Belinda.
Oh my gosh. I made it.
Ooh, yay! Fantastic. I'm just finishing off a little golden nugget, and then Liz is going to do hers, and then we'll come back to you. So relax and enjoy.
Chill.
So the things with a home office that I noticed, one was this social connection. So missing those water cooler chats. They've now turned into, oh, good kitty, would you like some food? And yeah, the cat doesn't talk back, so that's not quite so much fun for me. So my way of solving that was actually booking some Skype lunch dates with some business friends. So as long as you don't have the food fall out of your mouth while you're eating, it's not so attractive. It can be quite good fun, and you can just have that social connection engagement if you can't get off this out of your own office that day. The other thing is actually book real physical dates. So a coffee catch, or even better, a walk and talk. That brainstorming time is really important to us small business owners, because we can get really stuck in our own heads, and it can stop us. The next thing is structure. So having that 9 to 5, turn up, other people are watching you, that's quite good for giving you structure. So I noticed my brain would be like, oh, should I make myself a coffee, or should I have a green tea and be good, or should I check my emails? Not so productive, really. So what I did was look at the kind of work reward time. So Eat That Frog, you know, that book, that famous book on productivity. So do that hard task first thing in the morning, and it makes everything else kind of smoother and flow out. Accountability. So for me, I noticed thoughts like, how long can I put off doing my tax, GST? Yeah, there's a few people smiling. You've been in that
you can relate to that one.
Yeah. So my best piece of advice is, I wish I'd done this 13 years ago. Build a tribe. And Belinda can attest this, because this is what she's about. She'll love this. Find a couple of fellow business owners that you can be accountable to. And it obviously has to be a values match. And then check in with each other. So know what's on your list, what's important. Share that. Allow yourself to be a little bit vulnerable. And let them hold you to account from a supportive, loving space. So, or invest in a coach. Find that right match. Obviously, they've talked about how to find a good coach previously. That's really important, as that accountability. So that's me for today. Social connection, structure, and accountability. Cool. Over to you, Liz.
Thanks, Fiona. Great to have you with us, Belinda. Can't wait to hear what you've got to share. It's become a bit of a thing that every week I get tasks that I set myself from this blab show. So I've updated my LinkedIn. I got on Instagram. So yeah, it's
Awesome.
if no one else watched, it's great for me. But so I think it's something that I've just, from what you said in the beginning, Fiona, that I've just realised is that you're very much a head how-to person, and I guess my communication and things is very much from a heart-centred, like core connection. So yet another reason why we work. So something that I want to touch on is the communication side of things, and in the whole world of social media and online, offline these days, the same thing applies to online as offline. And I've seen a quote that says the most important thing in communication is to hear what isn't being said. And that can be easy or easier in offline situations in real life, when you're talking to people and you can tell by the body language and things that actually what they're saying isn't quite congruent with maybe how they're feeling or their business beliefs or the real them. But also like online as well, because I struggled with depression last year, and some sort of people said, I didn't know, and all the rest of it. And then some people close to me said, actually, Liz, I did think something was going on because you weren't on Facebook as much as normal, and showing up kind of thing. And it's just who in your network isn't showing up, who isn't around kind of thing, and just maybe touch base and see what's going on. Some people will air everything that's happening in their world, and some of us are more private. It is just having that awareness of what isn't being said, and the people that aren't showing up. Because like talking to Natalie Tollop and being lucky enough to spend the weekend with her at the expo, we were talking about the fact that obviously in business it's very up and down, and that's normal and to be expected. But her key thing is about showing up every day. And it is about that, and it is about honest and authentic, and which is why I can't wait for you to hear what you've got to say, Belinda. Just real, being really you, but really coming from the heart and looking outside of your business as to what's potentially going on with other people as well.
Nicely said.
Thank you.
Cool. So now we're going to head over to Belinda. I'm going to introduce Belinda to you. We met actually in 2013, I think it was, not long before she started the Honest Food Company.
Yes, oh my God, that's a while ago.
And I was impressed with her commitment to creating the products with a kind of the growing paleo food movement. And it was kind of really just starting to take off then. And her products are really yummy. I've been to her place that she had in Green Lane and tested them. Now, she's built her business to have stockists in New Zealand and Australia. And that's quite a hard journey to go on. And I've really admired watching her journey. She leverages social media really, really well. Yes, the roller coaster of entrepreneurship. Yeah.
It's the one.
And Belinda has started a new movement called Avid Girl Boss. And it's about just being real you and your business. Look for the hashtag just be, the letter B. You'll find it trending around. And she's passionate about being the real you in your business. And it's a theme we've kind of had lately, Liz, that people are talking about. The more they are themselves, the more they attract the real clients that they connect with. It's a tribe they're building, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Today, Belinda's going to share with us about her little bit of background about how she's got to launching Avid Girl Boss. And why she thinks that message of just be is so important to all of us in business. Belinda, welcome.
Oh, thank you for having me. This is my first blab, so I'm looking at my screen going, ooh, what's happening? Why are there things flying up? And it's all so exciting. So do you want me to start with the journey of Honest Food or with Avid Girl Boss?
Tell us about what got you from going from Honest Food to launching Avid Girl Boss. What was the catalyst?
Yeah. For me, firstly, AGB was something that was always there. It was there, but I didn't have a name to it or for it. And then when that happened, when Avid Girl Boss came about, I initially tried to be AGB or have that as part of Honest Food. So then if you noticed at the beginning of the year, I kind of mixed it up a bit in my messages online and all my social media platforms with Honest Food, and bringing a lot more inspiration and empowerment and a bit more, even more realness to it. And something as simple as, for example, using the F word, things like that. But into my messages, because I felt so filtered. I felt like I was blocking myself because I wasn't able to speak the way I speak. And it was working so well, and my Honest Food tribe really attached themselves to it. But for me, I felt it just was a little bit disjointed. So it came about that I just went, you know what, AGB is completely a separate being, separate entity. And why not? Why not have a new brand? Why not start up something completely new? Got nothing else to do.
That's what we do.
Did you?
I know, woman. Business.
Belinda, did you find having the two mixed up confused your markets? Is that why you split?
It confused me.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, if it's confusing me, it's probably confusing my tribe. But also because, with Honest Food and the tagline's Nourish Your Journey.
Yes.
And I wanted to be able to continue that message in the physical sense, you know, what honest food was about. And so with AGB, still nourish you in your journey, but obviously mentally and spiritually. So to be able, and also to have that aha moment of, holy crap, this is actually a living, breathing being on its own. And that just got me really excited. And what it's been able to do for me, though, is that excitement and, you know, the traction and what's happening around AGB is just making me even more excited with honest food, which, you know, I'm in the 3rd year, so that's a good thing to have.
Oh,
I can get bored easily.
So tell us about the Just Be, and what's been the driving force behind wanting to share that?
Yeah, I think it's at the beginning of the year, I made a commitment to myself to, similar to that, to show up 100%, you know, me. And we can't do that, obviously. Sometimes, you know, we fall to the wayside a bit. But for me, that created such amazing opportunities and changes and differences in my business, how I saw it, you know, new opportunities as well as my tribe and my market, you know, we're a lot more connected, and they were the real, you know, the real deal. And from that is where I went, see, I'm just being me, and I am B, you know, like shorthand Belinda, just call me B. So it kind of was a play on words of that. I was just being B, I was being me. So to be able to say to women that, oh my God, could you imagine, you know, if you actually showed up as you are, whoever the hell you are, like that's the cool thing. You can show up someone different tomorrow and then someone different the next day. And that's okay, because it's coming from your heart space, like Liz says. You're being you, no matter what, and no one can take that away from you. And I think in business, that's just the best thing we could do for our business.
I really like what you just said about that each day it might be a different flavour of you.
Yeah. Sometimes I have no idea who's going to come.
Yeah, we're diverse human beings. And we're not cookie cutter, Barbie dolls, Ken dolls, whatever.
God, no. Thank God.
Yeah.
There's enough of them out there. We don't need anymore.
And how's the response been to this? Like, what have you noticed? I noticed you launched, obviously I was there, when you launched your Evergirl Boss event where you had those inspiring speakers. Now tell us about London. Why have you decided to go to London to launch in the European space?
Why not? Like, really? That was it. And one of my guest speakers, Sonia, who was there, obviously is a connection with London, so that helps as well. And it was something we kind of sat down and we were like, let's take it to London. You know, when you put something out there and you're like, ooh, that was brave just to put it out there. And then when you hear it in the space, when you hear it out in the universe, it comes back to you like, hell yeah, let's do it. And also it's something where when I committed to myself to honour who I am completely and wholly, my energy and my vision and what I want to create in the world is too big to just be held in New Zealand. Love New Zealand, obviously, born and bred, Kiwi. But, you know, it is something that's global, I think, of women empowerment, and majority are women in business that do show up, you know, with AGP online and at the event. And I just think to myself, can you imagine, you know, if every woman that comes to an AGB event or hears my message in some shape or form, like, you know, today in this blab, and they go out and just be, you know, the power that has to create change in the world is huge.
That's fantastic.
So I can't just stay here.
No. We don't have enough for you. I'll be there. Liz, do you want to go back at the homeland?
Yeah, absolutely. Always.
Hey,
this is a cool thing, Liz. Come back. You can come back.
Yeah, exactly.
Belinda, I've got a question. Because I've looking at collaborating with people, and there's lots of opportunities coming my way at the moment. How do you choose who to collaborate with?
Yes, because we do, don't we? We get lots of emails and messages and people saying you need to be at my thing and it'll be good for you. Do you know, that's firstly, if anyone's out there, don't come at me like that, because I know what's good for me.
Don't tell that girl what to do.
That's an AGB thing right there.
Yeah.
So and I think that if someone comes to me like you did, and I know it comes from a good place, and I will look and see, obviously, is there alignment? Yeah. Are we in the similar circles or similar tribes, or our message is similar? Yeah. And I just connect with it personally. If I connect with it, then I'm a yes. If I get requests, from maybe people I have no clue. I had a request a couple of weeks ago to join an online summit. Had no clue who they were. But I love that they just kind of went out there and said, been watching, following messages in your story. So, absolutely. And it felt good. So, I'm very much all about energy. So even via email, I will pick up energy and things like that. So I kind of go with my gut.
Yeah, I was going to say, gut is something that's so underrated in business, right?
Oh, our fabulous, sexy guts.
I've got plenty of at the moment.
It's a good thing, Yeah, absolutely. Running a business, via your intuition is, I think, the only way to do it, especially as women, I'm not talking about guys, because obviously a lot of them obviously do it too, but they maybe just don't call it intuition or trusting the gut.
Yeah, they do the due diligence to back up
That's it. Yes. Yeah, where we go with gut first, and then, we'll go running around to get all the facts that we need. And the times when I swayed from that, when I didn't follow my gut, or I thought, oh, well, those people know best because I've been in business 1,000 years or what have you. Love them, but, still, they're not in your business, and they don't have your vision and the intent that you have around why you're doing what you're doing.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
How do you...
sorry, one more question around that choosing people. When you looked at the speakers, obviously there's some gut stuff in there, but what was it? Was it the values, the people you got to speak at the Abigail Boss event? Was there certain messages that you just thought needed to be told in different areas, or?
Yeah, because obviously I knew their messages, and I also I like to call myself a bit of a witch. In the fabulous
Belinda, the good witch.
Yeah, absolutely. And I kind of knew that there was more to some of their messages, and I wanted to give them that opportunity and the space to be able to share it. Because quite often with your own events, if you're focused on your business or your marketing, your spiel, I guess, sometimes you don't really get to the heart of who you are. And with the women that I chose, I really wanted them to be able to have that space. And I call myself a powerhouse catalyst for change. Yeah. And I knew that if I put them in this space, this is what's going to happen.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
It was a pretty emotive evening. There was lots of heartfelt stories, a lot of connection, a lot of people I think there was almost like a freedom to look at that just be concept for themselves. Absolutely.
And even now it's been 3 weeks, I think, since AGB Auckland, and I'm still getting amazing feedback, from the women who attended. And what I love is that they're not just going, oh, I was empowered, or I transformed. They've actually given me what they've done. They've taken action.
Brilliant.
How cool is that? Because sometimes you go to events, you're like, wow, that was amazing, woo, and then the next day you wake up and you're like,
or you're like me, you make lots of notes and think, I must get to that.
I don't even make notes. I make notes up here. But they've actually taken action, and massive action. Like, really cool stuff. I'm like, oh my gosh, because of what they've done, it's going to, create even more amazing action elsewhere in other people's lives. And that's just the coolest for me.
Yeah. Liz, you had a question?
Yeah, so in terms of maybe someone watching this or someone that's been following your journey and things, and it's like, oh my God, I so get that. I so get Belinda's message. Where the fuck do I start? What would you, where would you begin?
Okay. Very good question.
That little voice is going, I want to be that person.
Yes.
Yeah. They may be in a job already. They may not. Where
it's
would
good
you start?
That you said little voice, because that's where they should start, is listening to their inner self. and I call it your soul whispers. Actually start listening to those. Don't stress about the how, because that's what we do. We're like, oh my God, we want to create change, or I want to be this person. How do I do it? You are it. You know, it's like
you're speaking to me, honey, because that's as Liz said. I'm like, oh, I'm going to make it happen. But stepping back is so important. That's my biggest lesson the last couple of years.
Oh my God, yes. And that's the thing that you see on my Instagram profile. I write, I like to keep my head in the clouds. Because, you know, our feet firmly planted on the ground and our heart is there for everyone. But that's where you should be.
Yeah, I love it.
You know, in that space. Not necessarily, I mean, because the how happens.
Yeah.
That's the thing. We are always freaking howing. Like, we're always doing.
Yes.
And getting and going and you know, all of that stuff. So let's just be, to be corny right there. But, you know, sorry, that came out without me really thinking. Hashtag
yeah. I've already just put that up there. I'm channeling you.
Oh, cool. Cool, you can. Woo, love it. And that's it. It's like, just be in your space, in your moment, and listen to yourself and journal. So, you know, I was journaling before I was trying to get on. And just start writing, and, you know, an I am kind of sentences, and who you are and who you want to be and who you want to show up as.
So tell us about your tools. I'm really fascinated. Tell us about how you stay in the just be, because you're a human being, and I know that some days it's like your brain goes, I don't want to just be, and you get all that because you're a human being. Tell us about the tools that you use. I'm fascinated to see how you switch your state and get back on track.
So the easiest thing is journaling.
Okay.
Like, it really is. How hard is it when you wake up to grab your journal? And even like 2 days ago, I wrote 3 lines because I was in one of those stages. I was like, you know, I just want to roll around in bed by myself and watch Netflix. And so I just wrote 3 lines, and that was enough. You know, things like that, or meditate, or go hang out with someone, like you said, get your really close tribe. My tribe is very small because of that. So then you can just go and, you know, empower each other and re-energize each other, and know that there's no judgment in it. So I do that, but quite often it's something as simple as meditation, journaling, closing my eyes and breathing.
It's a biggie, hey?
Oh, my life. We forget to breathe. It's crazy. And kind of focus on who I am and how I see the world, because we're all very unique. And I think that's it. We forget that we're unique and we are special. Don't anyone tell us that we're not special. Yes, we are, you know. And so we have to tell ourselves that. And then I kind of get out of that funk.
Tell me about the meditation. Do you do guided meditations, or are you able to sit and not create lists in your head like I do?
That takes a while, eh? I can do both. It came with practice to be able to just sit. And I'm not even saying in silence, because there's never silence. No. Sometimes I have 6, 7 voices up in there. So I can do that, and I don't expect that to be very long. Okay. So if you are doing that type of meditation where you just want to go sit in your garden, or even in the car, you know, especially if you've got children and you're in the car by yourself, that's a huge bonus, isn't it? And
get some quiet time.
Just, absolutely. Oh my gosh, quiet time in the toilet or something. And just sit in the moment for even a minute. You know, I think we create meditation to be this glorious thing, and we have to be 30 minutes guided, you know, and have our candles burning and have, you know, all the woo-woo fabulousness. It doesn't have to be that way. Great if that's you. And sometimes I do, but sometimes I'm like, shit, I don't have time, but I need to get into a big space, so I'm going to sit here for a minute and just be. Nice.
Great advice. Because there is an expectation there is an expectation about how you should do it too, which can stop you.
Yes. Oh, God, yeah. Just do it the way you want to do it. Oh, my Lord. Absolutely.
Your question, Liz.
Where did this all start? Like, did you have a turning point in your life and you were like, I'm not standing this for this anymore, and this is what I want to do, and I'm going to show up? Or is this something that's always been, I mean, obviously it's always been within you, but has it always shown up, kind of thing? Or like,
always. I can't remember. Yeah, absolutely. I used to rub people the wrong way, for example, at school for teachers and things. So they'll be like, why? I was that kid. Don't just tell me because it's in a textbook. What are your thoughts? What are your feelings around it? So I was always that person and that child and that teenager. And I think most of us know, if we're a particular type of person or we want to show up in a certain way, or you'd look around and go, oh my God, I'm so different. So different. And you try and walk their walk and talk their talk, and it just doesn't vibe and doesn't gel.
It's like clothes that don't fit properly, and you're always uncomfortable. Moving around.
Oh my gosh, exactly. And they're there if we want them. If you want to try to be like other people, I say go for it, because you'll soon realise it's just crazy. And that's when all the bad shit happens.
Yeah.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
We don't want any more of it.
No.
We've learned, we've healed, and we moved on, process. Let's go.
So what's next for Abigail Boss? Where are you taking this?
There looks like there could be 2 additional cities/countries actually for this year. Yeah, so I can't say too much more than that, but it's out there. I call it manifesting phase 1. Stage 1 is complete.
Nice.
Tick. It's more at the moment about creating the tribe, the movement side of things, and then obviously moving into, resources and tools. So you're an AGB, like you said. You're an AGB, but then you're like, oh, crap, I've fallen, off it, or I need some kind of assistance. Yeah.
So how can people who are listening in today or watching the replay, how can they connect with you? And if they're like inspired and want to know more, where would you say go?
Yeah. Instagram.
Yeah. And what's your Instagram?
It's a great place. So it's just at Abigail Boss. Same thing with Twitter. It's the same handle. But probably to be able to speak to me, so at least if you send me something and I will see, it would be Instagram and Facebook.
And how can they actually work with you? How does that look like? Yeah. What does that look like?
Yeah, absolutely. So I've got coming up a online boot camp, kind of a transformation boot camp. So it's just for a core group of women who want to get their ass kicked in this way, spiritually and beautifully. But, just so then you can have someone. Isn't it great? Like, we all need someone quite often when we're starting a new phase of our journey to just kind of go, that's fantastic, but you're actually telling porkies to yourself. You need that person to say, that sounds awesome, but it's not you.
Yeah.
I'm blessed and acknowledge the gift I have to be able to see that in people and kind of know instantly when they're not telling me like the real deal. And and I'll give them a little bit, and then I'll be like, okay, let's actually get real here.
Cool.
Just help them on whatever the path is.
So is that for women looking to start a business, or for any challenge, or
no, any challenge. Any challenge, absolutely. So it's for women who are already obviously doing amazing things.
Yes.
Because I think we've noticed that we connect with those women anyway.
Yeah. So they're up for a challenge.
And they're on a journey.
They're up for a challenge.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, up for a challenge, and kind of where they're like, I'm doing amazing things. I've done this, ticked it off, but there's something missing.
Get you.
You know that?
Yeah.
Your life is awesome, and everyone's like, oh my God, you're so lucky.
It's like there's this hidden, bright, shiny diamond in the corner, and you're like, I can't quite find it. It's it's there, but it's hidden under a massive pile of dirt, and you need someone to give you a spade to help dig it out.
Here, that's it. Because we think it's out there. We think it's not.
Beautiful. And when is the boot camp kicking off? Do we have some dates?
Boot camp is, where are we now? What date is it?
It's the 18th.
18th.
Oh my life. Okay, so it'll be in 2 weeks.
Oh, cool.
I wanted it before the 1st of June.
Brilliant.
So.
Very nice. Very nice.
And how long's the boot camp?
6 weeks.
Cool. And so if people find Abigail Boss on Facebook, they'll be able to find out more and learn how to join up.
Yes, they can just send me a message, absolutely.
Awesome.
And then we can Skype and see if it works.
That sounds cool.
And it's a good fit for them.
And I noticed that your Belinda's got these really cool T-shirts, singlets that she does, and you're doing some more lines of like motivational stuff coming out.
Yes.
Tell us about it. You're wearing one now as well, aren't you?
Yeah, so I have, that one there is woman.
Cool.
Can you see? It's the OM is obviously is a bit larger. So I have that, and yes, I've got a new AGB design, which I will actually. I'll put it out there on Facebook tonight.
Oh, awesome. Can I ask if it's in black? Because me and white just don't go. I just get it like dirty or something.
I know. I laugh when I actually create them in white because I'm one of those you wear white and suddenly food is over it. I don't even have to be eating that and then suddenly there's tomato. Like how'd that happen? But it just looks really good in white, I must say.
Yeah.
But no, it's in white and black in the next run, the new design.
Awesome. And so the new one's the woman.
New one is Abigail Boss.
Oh, awesome. Very cool.
So you can walk around and own it.
Yeah. That sounds great. Nice. Do you see events and stuff coming up and workshops and stuff? Like, do you have some plans for more live stuff coming up?
Yeah, more live stuff, absolutely, because I love it. I've just been really useless at putting some online live stuff out there.
Yeah. Facebook Live?
Good old Facebook Live. Oh, my gosh, it's everywhere, isn't it? It's everywhere.
Yeah.
You accidentally you turn your Facebook on, like boom, there's like all these people live streaming, which I think is fabulous. So yes, I will.
And so they're living the just be by getting out there and putting themselves out there, aren't they? By doing that, that's what.
Yes.
Yeah. Very cool.
Oh, it's awesome. It's just a great way to connect.
Yeah.
Do you have any tips in terms of, obviously a lot of us do have more than one entity. So in terms of juggling that I mean, I guess you can show up as the same person in both, but in terms of, that's my question.
No, it's good. I got some good advice around that because I think as passionate women in business as well, we give ourselves to our brands and our businesses and our entities fully, which is what you should do, obviously. But I find myself sometimes doing that, and to the point where I have nothing left to give to myself. So I think to be able to juggle those entities, it's about putting yourself first and making yourself a priority.
Yeah.
Because what's the point if you're completely drained and, you can't actually give anything to your business or your family or your friends or especially to yourself. Absolutely. So I've decided as well, because it's like all of us, we just kind of forget these things, to put time aside for me, cool. and just something as simple as get my nails done,
Yeah, it doesn't take much, does it?
Well, that's an hour, actual 1 hour just for you. Yeah. It's like, that's crazy.
I was reminded myself, a friend was talking, she runs the local coffee place they've actually got a coffee place in my son's school. It's great.
That's cool.
Well, it's bad, good. But she was talking about how stressed she was, and I said, there's a woman just up the road who does the most amazing massages with magnesium oil. She goes, oh, I could do that on Friday. And I went, go on, quick, book it now.
Exactly. And that's it. Well, we do that, don't we? Every week I say to myself, oh, I'd love a massage. Every week. Do I get it done? No. Because it's just but hey, I'm saying it here. I'm going to go get a massage.
Okay, so I'm checking in with you. I'll be your accountability buddy this week.
I'll Facebook Live it.
Look, I did it. Hey, I challenge everybody here to put down, I've got an idea here, put down one piece of self-care you're going to do for yourself in the next week. Let's put that down. Let's state it, because I think it's so important. I'm going to book myself a massage. So type it in here.
Oh, I love it. So I'll put mine in. Book.
It can be as simple as taking yourself, like for me, it's taking myself out for a coffee and something nice at the local cafe. and you're just sitting down and reading the paper, or just, not connecting with business, but just half an hour. It doesn't have to be a big thing. It can be, actually for me, jumping into bed with a good book. Oh, that's brilliant. About you, Liz? What do you think?
I'm working on it.
You're going, what else could I do?
I'm the worst.
Are you? That's fascinating.
Or even switching off a bit at home, because obviously we can run our businesses 24/7.
Yeah.
And to be able to say, actually, within these hours, I'm not going to go on social media.
Yeah.
That is huge, isn't it?
Totally.
Because as soon as you're on social media, even if I say to myself, I'm just here having an update with my friends and family, you're not. You're then going, into business mode, which is fine. Like, I think I posted about that the other day. It's fine if that's what, fuels you and it actually keeps you, alive. But quite often it's not. It's like it just becomes a bit of a drag. And, rest is the new hustle.
Yeah, I love
hustle like crazy people. It's like we're women, we're feminine energy, feminine power. Ours is different. It shows up different. Yeah. We don't have to have that masculine vibe of let's hustle all the time.
Well, I'm a walking, talking, living, breathing example of not to do that, because I burnt myself out with adrenal fatigue. And I'm 2 years down in my recovery, and I'm still only operating at 60 to 70% on a good week. So you have to stop hustling. You have to stop pushing and pushing and pushing, and you have to listen to your bloody body, because it will tell you. It will tell you. And don't ignore the bloody body, because it knows better than you do.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it does. Absolutely.
Oh, cool. We've got.
Okay, I've got
massage is a really. So I was reading the list. Massage is like a biggie. I've started a massage movement. Woo!
That's so cool.
Sorry, let's go.
Oh my gosh, we should all massage at the same time in different places. That would be very cool.
I'm going to save my message for next week, but I'm going to watch a film called The Abundance Factor, which I've had for ages and been meaning to watch. And my pledge is that I'm going to turn my phone off during the whole film.
Awesome. I hope it's a long film.
Yeah, it's like an hour and a half. It's an hour and a half or something. So it's just like that's just going to be crazy.
I want to hear more about that film. Can you post if you've got a link to any information about it? That sounds really good. I'm sure there's people who are going, oh, tell me more. Pique my interest.
Yeah, I'll let you know next week. Same time, same place.
Yay! So isn't that wonderful that we've created a little Just Be movement right here, right now?
Yes.
Awesome. Yay. I love Steph's message. Just said she's certainly not Facebook living her massage.
One of those
come on,
ones.
Steph.
One of those ones, Steph. Love it.
You might get a whole different type of following.
I've got to figure out how to do it, actually. I've just been that slack. I love social media, but Facebook Live, I'm just kind of like, oh, we see instructions.
Yeah.
What am I doing?
And that's fascinating, because the Facebook Live stuff I've done a couple, and I've done them but only into the Business Made Easy private group. And I found, because I know there's a tribe there who are listening from a certain place, it's been easier to kind of just speak into that. It kind of feels safer for me. So that's interesting, eh?
Yeah, I was thinking that too, because as you know, Feesh, you're part of it. The AGB tribe. So I have a private group for people who come to the events. And I was thinking that too. I was like, well, that would be the perfect place to start.
There you go. There you go.
People want to see it. People want to see you.
Yeah, they do.
Yes, I know, but look, I'm getting my hair done this afternoon because I'm doing a photo shoot tomorrow, some new branding, because obviously you've seen my photos from last year and I have long hair and I just look really different.
Yeah.
So look at that. So once I get my hair done, I'll do a bit more live stuff.
I love it.
So hair and a massage, go you.
Yes.
So what advice would you give to people who are struggling with, because I know the Just Be thing, people go, oh yeah, that sounds good, but I should be doing this, but there's all these people relying on me, but. What's your advice to that? Because I know there'll be people listening and going, oh, but I can't do that because I'm blah, 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 blah.
Well, the thing is, you're showing up in a way anyway. You know, you're showing up into the world as someone. or as something or some identity, why the hell would you not want to show up as yourself? You know, and I think it doesn't suddenly turn everything into, you know, a life full of unicorns and marshmallows.
Does it not?
Wouldn't that be wonderful? You know, but life is yin and yang. But I think, wouldn't you rather deal with shit as yourself? You know, completely owning your power, because that's always going to happen. So, you know, if anyone comes up with the buts, it's like, just throw those away. You've lived your life full of them. You know, how about try a different one, actually show up as you. And if you don't know who the hell you are, then that's a good time to sit and meditate and journal and, you know, put your head in the clouds.
How did you go from, I mean, you've always had elements of, obviously, you've been a strong woman. You've known, there's been from the story I listened to, that when you were speaking at your event, that you've always had this intuitive knowing that you were a certain way.
Yeah.
And you've, you know, like all of us, you've gone on that journey of trying to be this and trying to fit this. But you had this, you seem to have had this strong core identity all the way through. And you've kind of finally embraced all of who that is, warts and all. How, like, how do you think it's a matter of age or experiences or having the right people around you? What would you say would be the things that have helped you, allow you to stand up and be, just be?
Just be. I think age and experience is quite key, because in our 20s, you know, and in our teens, we think we're being authentic. And love you if you're 20-something. Wait till you're hitting your 40s and you're out there. But we are, but we're trying we are trying different hats on in our 20s, and we can show up any way we want, and it's okay too.
And we can wear all those great clothes.
So, oh my gosh, yes. And, you know, I used to wear wigs. I used to go out with wigs and all this kind of crazy stuff. Yeah, loved it. And so, you know, I think we use the 20s for that. And in 30s, we're kind of more a little bit, you know, mainstream, because we're family and all of that sort of thing. And I mean, I turned 42 two weeks ago. Gosh, it went fast. And I do think that we get to a certain age where we're like, fuck it. Like, really, that's it. It's like, this is who I am. I know it. I hope everyone understands it, you know, who they are at the core. I really hope that there aren't people out there who are completely oblivious to who they really are. But you get to a certain stage in your life and just go, why not? You've had all the bad stuff happen. By now.
Hey, do you think that is it, like, for people who maybe haven't done a lot of, I know you've done a lot of work and to figure that out. Yes. Is there any specific books or resources you recommend to help people uncover parts of themselves?
Oh my gosh, I have about 10 books on my bedside now. I just love reading. Such a
Did you find Daniela Port's work good about her core-desired feelings? Have you gone through her stuff?
I haven't gone through her stuff. I have an audio of one of hers, which is great, because she's got a beautiful voice to listen to. Yeah, so that's great for planes and things like that. I like listening to it. You know what? There's so many out there. I can absolutely, if you want. Sorry for everyone, I can't even think, but I can send a list.
Maybe we'll put that in the Facebook group afterwards.
Yeah, because I don't want to miss someone else. We'll say something that actually had no real value, but it's just
no. That's good. That's good.
But I did do a lot of inner work.
You have, and that's part of it. And it's kind of like an onion, almost peeling off the layer upon layer to get to the core part, right?
Oh, absolutely. And they always talk about that onion. And the thing is, you get to a point where you realise it's your onion. So you can choose to have it with 100 layers or just say 3. And let's just get it done.
Yeah.
And, you know, and because we have that power. We really have that power. And, you know, it's interesting people say, oh, but I've got so many layers to deal with and issues. Oh, we all do, honey, you know. But you choose to either deal with it quickly, because you don't even have to know what your issues are.
Yeah.
That's the great thing. You just have to know you're over it. You've learned, you want to process it, and you want to show up as you and be authentic.
Tell me about, have you had to deal with trolls or social media backlash or anything? How have you, because I mean, let's face it, there is.
I've been blessed.
Oh, wow. Awesome. Yeah.
I've been really blessed. I'm saying it so then the universe knows I would like to keep it that way.
Yes.
No, I haven't. And I mean, I've seen it, you know, with others, and I just go, holy moly. And I'm sure, you know, there comes a time that they'll get it, or maybe I haven't noticed it.
Awesome. That's even better.
Because who cares what they think? So it could be that, actually.
Yeah, maybe
you know, it could have
is.
been some horrific stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, you know, I'm fabulous, and that's all that matters. As long as you know how amazing you are. And you know, and you understand that.
Yeah. As long as you're being yourself and being real and authentic, people will either connect or they won't. And that's a choice, and it's a timing and a whole bunch of other stuff.
Yeah. And you feel sorry for those who connect in that way, in a negative way, and they want to troll you because you're like, oh, my Lord, poor you. You know, what's going on? Get a life.
So have compassion and wish them well.
I have compassion. I don't know if you've seen it. There's a post that went around about, you know, being spiritual and being enlightened doesn't mean you can be walked over. Yeah. It doesn't mean that you're sending out love to everyone. Some people are assholes, like you know, and that's okay. Send them love and go, get out of my space.
I like that. That's a meme in itself. I want to see a meme of that. That's a goodie.
Yeah.
So, Liz, did you have any final questions for Belinda coming towards the end of the hour?
Yeah, just, you know, we often talk about our purpose and why we're here. And, you know, for some people it is obviously to have their business and get their message out through that. Like but I think for some people it's very different. And it may be, you know, maybe something to do with bringing up their kids or something vocational or something. What advice would you have for them, or someone that doesn't even know what their purpose is, doesn't know what they're here? Like, how can you, how can you help them either find out what it is or that it's okay not to know, or what would you say on that line?
Good question, because I think we can chase our tail trying to find our purpose. And our purpose, number one, is to live and breathe and be, you know, and I think if we take away the stress of what's my purpose, you know, so I hashtag a lot, live with purpose. I don't necessarily mean live with this amazing purpose to change the world. If that's what you want, that's awesome. But I just mean be purposeful in what you do and who you are, and live with intent, because the purpose, it's one of those, it's in there.
Yeah.
You know, and it's something, if you go back in life, even from a child, into your first initial thoughts and dreams and visions and how you aspire or what you thought your life would be right now. That's a really cool thing, is to go, okay, when you were young and you thought about yourself at this age, what did you think you'd be doing? Because it would be based around your purpose.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Before everything else got...
Before life kind of just comes in and says, this is what you should look like, walk like, act like, and all the rest.
Yeah. That playful child is so important, That playful child that had fun doing what they were doing.
And that's it. Just have fun. Like, think of everything you do that you actually have fun doing. You're totally living with purpose in those moments.
What I've experienced with people is, and myself, is that there's this kind of I can't be able to make money having fun. There's this story that's been created around work being hard and not fun and torturous, and you come home exhausted at the end of the day. And, you know, there's this whole rhetoric and story and the drudgery and the hardship, you know, attached to work.
Yes, and I mean, we've been there. I mean, I was there in it last year at one point. I was like, holy crap, this is insane. This is so hard. My life is so hard, blah, blah, you know? And sometimes I think it is something we wear, like, oh, look at me, I work so hard on my business. But then you look at, that's why I love creatives. I think of myself as a creative and a creator. They have fun. You know, they are still, you know, probably stressed out, obviously, building huge businesses or whatever it is they want to do. But you can still have fun in it.
Yeah.
It doesn't, you can still monetize fun. I mean, look at Richard Branson.
I know, good point.
You know, Beyonce, hello. Don't tell me she's not having fun and you can't monetize fun. And you don't have to be, obviously, at that level. But if you cannot have fun, even just daily, something that you're laughing, you know, at or with, or yourself even, laugh at yourself if that's at least something. Then if you can't even do that, then you're in the wrong job. Your business's model is wrong.
Good point.
Relationship. Yeah.
And it's okay to be wrong, because then you have the opportunity to turn it into something right.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
Awesome.
Thank you, Belinda. You've
thank you.
Well done on your first blab.
I know. This is so awesome. Thank you so much. I'm loving this.
It's a privilege to have you on. I love what you're up for. I love the message that you're out there sharing with women. It's so needed, really, to give them access to be not be stuck in a certain way of being, and just opening their mind up to opportunities. And it needs to be said. And I think what is even more important is young women and girls get to see this message, because there's some opportunities there that schooling doesn't provide for them to think about themselves differently. And I think there's a whole generation of women coming, young girls, who need this as well. And I think what a lucky daughter you have to have you as a mum, bringing her that.
Thank you so much. I'm very lucky to have her as well. Thank you both.
Thank you, my darling. So Belinda will, I'll pop her details into our Facebook group. So I'll just pop that in there now. So if you want to come across and join us later and ask some questions, and
cool.
I'll ask Belinda to pop her list of recommended books and things to help you if you are struggling with, what it is to just be, and what that means for you as an individual, because we're all different, as Belinda talked about. Oh, Honest Food Company.
I'm just about to have my snack.
Yeah.
A blondie. Yeah.
So follow Belinda on and look up Avid Girl Boss and join her movement. I think it's something that we as a woman, a group of women, need to kind of add into our lives, and create your own tribe. Find those people you connect with, pull them in close. And as Belinda said, it won't be a huge amount of people who will be there for you in your journey. I did a really amazing course with Brené Brown through the Oprah Network, and she talked about drawing a little picture of the heart and looking at who you trust with your heart, and it won't be a huge amount of people. Someone you call when something goes to shit. Who would you pick up the phone and call? And it's not a huge amount of people. So just think about that. Thank you so much for your time. It's been great. As usual, I love connecting with you. Your sense of humour is infectious.
Thank you.
And next week on the Business Made Easy show, we have Michelle Solovich, and she is all about telling your story through video.
She's amazing.
Yeah. I've watched some of her videos, and I've just about been brought to tears. She just does an amazing job, of telling a story. She's got a background in working in TV, so she knows all the technical stuff to make it happen. But she has this ability to tell a story, and that's what her business is about. And as we just talked about Facebook Live and video and blab, and there's so many opportunities to get out there and tell your story. And not a lot of us experimenting with it right now. So I'm really looking forward to having her on. I think timing's really good. I know Liz and I will be probably furiously scribbling notes from that one as well. So thank you, everybody. I'm going to wind up this blab for the day. We're just 3 minutes past the hour. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you.
We'll see you soon on the other side. Pausing the